Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video on F123. Today we're back with WOR round number 5, 6, I think it's 6. But one thing for sure is, as you can see, it's the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps, one of the best Formula 1 tracks in the history of Formula 1, if not the best in Formula 1. And as you can see, it's wet as well, as I'm almost putting it in the wall through that very easy flat out right hand in the dry, but in the wet it's a bit more sketchy. But as you can see, it's actually round number 7 of the championship, and we are 6 points behind Ismail Fassi in the standings after Sao Paulo, which we managed to win. Make sure to check out that race, it was a very tactical one, to say the least. But yeah, 6 points behind Ismail Fassi and 29 points ahead of Otis Lawrence, I think so. But yeah, as you can see there, we go P2, only a few thousands behind P1, and I was very surprised with that because I had a massive slide in the final corner, or the first corner of Sector 3, I should say. So yeah, I was quite surprised with that. We had to go out again though because, yeah, drying track. The track just improving constantly. As you can see, through turn 1, we're already going to be going 2.5 tenths up by the time we get to Eau Rouge. And yeah, it's going to be one of those laps that you have to nail. Not necessarily have to nail, but yeah, you can't invalidate it. If we invalidate this one, we're going to be out in Q1. So it's very important we get it together. It doesn't have to be a magical lap. It just has to be one that gets us through into Q2. Practice was not a lot for this one. I don't remember why, 'cause this race was from a while ago, but I do remember in practice for this, the 1 hour of practice I did, my personal best was a 140.4, which, yeah, for anyone who watched PSGL and WR previous seasons, you have to be doing in the 39s. So yeah, let's hope we can get our act together slightly better when it gets to dry conditions. Because in the wet at the moment we've got great pace, but in the dry, in the practice sessions I did, I was half a second of the pace. So we need to find some pace here. As Kian Goedendorp goes to P1, the Dutch guy for Williams Esports. Reese Linton goes to provisional P1 with a 50.1. We are 1.9 seconds up though. So we're looking to beat that at the moment. Shanaka Clay goes to provisional P1 as the track is constantly improving, and the later you've started your lap, the better it is, as we're getting a little bit close to Philip Reichneider now. Might actually be getting a tiny bit of dirt here. We've touched up quite a lot, but yeah, as you can even say, we're safe. We took it safe, and that gets us easily into Q2 with a 49.868. I knew that last lap was gonna be tricky, and we had to get our act together. Jake, Duncan, Tico, and Philip Reichneider all went out in Q1, and Kai Pearson actually. So yeah, quite a big gap actually between P1 and last place. Jake had an absolute honker of a session. I have no idea how he was that far off, because he was quite far behind second last place as well. Not sure what happened to him, but on to our first Q2 lap, our first dry lap as well. So let's see if we can do a little bit better than our practice sessions. I mean, actually did
3,000s again.
We actually did a great lap, a 40.597, and considering the fastest we did in our practice session was a 40.4 in Q3, where there's a lot more grip than in Q2. That means that we're doing quite well at the moment. And yeah, we had to go out again though, because yeah, it's a long track. A lot of people are going to be improving a lot lap time wise. And considering Q1 was wet, a lot of people probably have to get into a little bit of a rhythm. Whereas we just did a really good banker straight away. And yeah, usually I'm not great in the last lap of Q3, but this is the last lap of Q2, and at the moment we're actually 2.5 tenths up. And that means we were going to be going into the 0.3s, and that's already an improvement to the practice we did, the hour of practice we did before this. So 3.5 tenths as we go through the downhill left-hander. And Tom Manley goes to provisional P1 with a low 0.4. However, we are currently on for a low point 2. As you can see, I actually took it safe there. Really safe. Staying away from track limits, because again, this is one of those laps where you don't have to nail it. You just have to get into the top 10. No need to go P1 by 1.5 tenths, or 2 tenths, or 3 tenths. You just have to go through into Q3. In P1 would be nice, of course, but not if it has to come with a lot of risk, as McLaren is going slowly down the outside. Sorry, that's an Aston Martin. 4 tenths up as we go into the final chicane. All we are gonna have to do is just cruise through it and not make any mistakes, as I did in F1 Esports in 2021. I was on for a brilliant Q2 lap in F1 Esports in 2021, which would have been enough.
Rate the clutch, Jake. Jake, rate the clutch.
Which would have been enough to get pole in Q3, in Q2, but I almost spun in the final corner and went out in Q2, and I was absolutely fuming with myself. So yeah, that was in the back of my mind going into the last chicane. But we made it through in P1, 3 tenths faster than we did in the hour of practice before this. And that was Q3. So great chance of getting pole here in Q3, but we're gonna have to nail it though, because a lot of people just practice Q3, and yeah, they are probably gonna be faster in Q3 relatively to Q2 as we go P1 again in our banker lap. Every single lap we've done so far has been great. Again, P1, quite a margin. And now it's gonna be the lap that counts. Everyone has had 2 new sets of tires, so it's equal for everyone at the moment. But we are gonna have to improve if we want pole position. Ideally, another big improvement like we had in the end of Q2. And so we get a relatively good exit. It's a 100 improvement as we head up Eau Rouge into Radion. And yeah, sometimes you just randomly lose time through there, and I don't know what to do about it. But yeah, I reckon a lot of F1 players can relate. Going up Camel Straight, you sometimes randomly lose a bit of lap time, but into the Lecombe section we go then. It is equal to our previous lap, and we're actually going to be going green. Little bit of a moment on the exit there, as the back end is a little bit loose through there. Again into this downhill right-hander. Backhand wants to get away into the downhill left-hander. You can see the backhand just not sticking at the moment, and we are not improving, and this is not enough for pole position, as I know that now we're gonna have to absolutely send it in order to still get pole position here in Q3, and that's what we're gonna be doing. Into the right-hander, right on the limit of track limits, and through the left-hander again. A big snap on the exit. And we've had basically 3 near spins. Again, backhand wants to step out. Into sector 3 we go. It's a 39.9. And you can see the frustration on my face, as I know we might have just thrown away pole. Into the final chicane we go. Then we're not fighting for pole position anymore, unless we can find somehow over 2 tenths in this final chicane. 1.5 down into the final chicane. Good rotation. This is the only position on the track where you get away with a lot of rotation, and it is a low 0.1. Yeah, very frustrating. That once again P1 Q2 and P1 banker Q3, but it's just not enough. Again, very frustrating, but it is what it is. Into the race we go. It is pole position for Shanika Clay, Thomas Gowan P2, Otis Lawrence P3, Declan Barrett P4, Ismail Fassi P5, ourselves P6, Kian Goedendorp in P7, 1000s behind us, Tom Manley P8, Istvan Pukki P9, and Thomas Ronahar in P10. So into the race we go. We are going to be starting on the soft compound of tires, as a lot of people are on the hards. I like to just do the opposite of everyone else in the race. So here we go then. We got hard tires of Ismail Fassi right next to us. It's going to be 5 red lights, and away we go. And it's not a great start actually relative to Ismail on the hards, but we're going to go around the outside in turn 1, around the outside of Ismail Fassi, leave enough space in case there is a little bit of an incident. But Ismail, great start, our championship rival, doing great on this race start, as Otis has somehow lagged away there. Not sure what happened to him, as we had to downshift through Eau Rouge and Radion. This was getting a little bit crowded. We're going to turn on the overtake button and try to go around the outside into Lecombe. Again, a little bit crowded, but we're gonna have more grip than Thomas Gal around the outside, into the inside, and back to the outside for the next right-hander. But we just got so much more grip on those soft compound tires. Ismail Fassi, our championship rival, up next. We got Declan Barrett on the softs in P1, as you can see as well in the McLaren. And we're gonna have to get past these two cars ahead of us ASAP, because they're on the hards, and we have to stay in the DRS of Declan Barrett if we want to have a chance of winning this race. So we're gonna have to get on with this. We have 87% battery, and we're gonna try and get past Ismail into the bus stop chicane, and perhaps get Shanaka on Camel's Ray. That's the plan I have in my head right now. So into the final sector we go. We're gonna have to get close, get that slipstream onto this long straight towards Blanchimont. We're gonna turn on the overtake button and snug into the slipstream. We're gonna go around the outside in Blanchimont and move up to P3. And now we did use a bit of battery there to get past, but that's okay. We still got another 2 laps to stay in the DRS of Declan. So yeah, we're just gonna stick behind Shanaka into turn 1, because I reckon it would just be losing both of us time if I send it here. It is obviously an easy overtaking opportunity, but I just want to stick in the slipstream here. Gonna be cooling the engine a little bit because I didn't want to catch Shanaka in the middle of Arouge and Radion. I want to get a good run here, and as you can see, the second I tuck into the slipstream, we start gaining a lot, and I'm using a bit of battery to get past now in order to stay in that 1 second window of Declan. So we're gonna have to be gaining 2 to 3 tenths, and then we are back in the DRS. But I am confident in our race pace, and yeah, lap 5, you can see we're getting DRS. So we're gonna get past here. Me and Declan are just gonna be swapping positions lap after lap on Camel Straight, because that's the fastest way for us to drive. And yeah, we're on a similar strategy. So we just have to work together a little bit here into the pit stop phase. And then it's gonna be a little bit of chaos again around the pit stop phase, but then after we can start working together again and then battle it out in the last few laps. So Declan getting past the lap after again, and we're just gonna be keep doing that until the pit stop. So yeah, a lot of strategy possible around here. We can be going to the hards, but we can also be going to the mediums. Declan is gonna be coming into the box here at the end of lap 9. Probably mediums, but the hards is a good shout as well. You can see 2 people have boxed already. They're going through into the last sector now, and they might be on the hards. I'm not sure though. As I said, a lot of strategies are possible around here. Hard soft is possible, medium soft is possible, soft medium is possible, soft hard is possible. So yeah, let's see what they are going to be doing. We've got Istvan behind us on the mediums, and you can see I'm draining my battery to try and only lose 1 position here, simply because Istvan is gaining on the DRS, but yeah, unfortunately Ismail got past here as well, and that's not ideal. I wanted to minimize the undercut, and I just did not manage to. The DRS is so powerful, of course. Camel Straight is really long, plus the slipstream is quite powerful as well. So end of lap 10, our tires are done. We cannot do any more laps on this set of tires. So in we come for a new set of tires, and yeah, it's going to be the mediums. 12 laps to the end from here. We did 10 on the soft, so 12 is going to be easy peasy on the mediums. But the tire wear is still quite high. So yeah,
we got undercut by like 3 people.
The
perhaps?
people that are doing hard medium are going to be fast as well. They are going to be a threat towards the end. But yeah, that's why we have to work together. This entire group of cars has to somewhat work together here in order to keep those hard medium runners behind. Unfortunately, we've just missed out on DRS, as you can see from my face.
How did I not get it?
Yeah, that's very frustrating, because yeah, that's just a potential 4 tenths gone. However, on the next lap we did manage to get the DRS, and yeah, that is nice, because then we can recharge a bit of a battery close up to the cars that boxed earlier, and then we can start attacking. Ideally we get to the front with Declan there. He is the leader of this train. I think the guys behind boxed 1 or 2 laps earlier. I think Kian might have boxed at the same lap as Declan, but Tamas and Benz were the ones that boxed even a lap earlier than them, so 2 laps older tire than us. And that is quite a lot around Spa because it's such a long track and the track is quite abrasive, so tire wear is quite high. You can see that AlphaTauri actually flashing into turn 1. No battery left for him, and he's going to be eaten up alive here on Camel Straight. You can see we are not pushing, we're just saving our battery because, yeah, I felt like it was going to be an easy pass the next lap anyway, so...
Really none of them have a lot of ERS left. They're just draining it every lap.
And yeah, as you can hear me say, I felt like they were draining their battery every single lap, and you can see Tamas flashing at the end of Camel Straight, and he's going to be an easy target for us with that low battery. We're on 81%, so he does not stand much of a chance. We're going to be waiting though. We're going to be waiting until the Blanchimon straight again, because these corners are not a great overtaking opportunity. It is possible, of course, but yeah, I felt like it was better off to just wait. We've got the time to catch back up to other cars and get past them, so did not want to get into an incident. And yeah, still flashing actually, even though he's in the middle sector. And that means he was actually probably on around 0% ERS, so yeah, he had no engine power available through that middle sector. And on this exit we're going to be in the slipstream, turning on the battery, and yeah, this is going to be an easy move. You can see he starts flashing once again, and we get squeezed a little bit on the grass, but we managed to get the move done. There's Otis and Thomas get side by side through Blanchimon. That was a near airplane crash, but up to P11 we go. It is a net P4 after pit stops. So Declan P1, Ben Sabo Konyi P2, Kian Goedendorp P3, and then ourselves P4. Declan seems to be out of DRS at the moment, and that is a bit of an issue. But yeah, we've got the pace to catch back up. We did that in lap 2 or 3 as well. I'm not sure if Declan even tried to stay out of the DRS, to be honest, so I'm not sure if he if he actually had WOR's race pace or if he was not even trying. But up to a net P3 we go, around the outside of Ben Sabo. And now we got next up Kian Goedendorp. I'm not sure if he's actually in the DRS yet, but he's going to be pushing for sure to get into the DRS. I was a bit confused why Declan didn't try harder to stay out of the DRS, because he was on fresher tires than Ben Sabo and Thomas Kahl, so I reckon he could have pulled it off. But yeah, maybe he was afraid that he was going to be low on ERS when the hard medium runners arrived. And yeah, everyone has box now, as you can see on the mini map. We are in P3, and we're going to be going on the attack here. Or maybe not on attack yet, but just pressurizing these guys ahead to maybe force them into mistake. You can see I was having a little look around the outside, but no way past just yet. But of course we were also not using any of our battery, just recharging for those final few laps. We just want to pressurize these guys ahead now. Ideally we get into P1 or P2. Actually P2 around Spa, but it's easier said than done. Because yeah, these DRS games at the end are tricky. And yeah, we have to think about the championship as well. We're on P2, 6 points behind Ismail Fassi, but Ismail Fassi is nowhere to be seen in the top 6, 7 at the moment. So try to use a bit of my ERS there to get past, but couldn't quite pull it off. So yeah, we're looking good in the championship at the moment. Lap 17, and you can see we're on 100% battery now, and this is where we have to go for the move. We've got Thomas Ronnehaar on very fresh mediums right behind us. He is not in the championship fight at the moment, and we're going to be going on the attack on Kian, who does not have any DRS, and into P2 we go. And this is what I was saying, I want to be in P2. P2 is the place to be, simply because of the last lap DRS. There's not much you can do against that last lap DRS, so if you're in P1 into the last lap, it's basically a guaranteed P2 if the car behind you is within 6 tenths, which should be easily doable with the slipstream effect through Blanchimon into the final chicane as well. So we're sitting on 100% ERS at the moment. We got Thomas right behind us on a fresh set of mediums, and yeah, we're gonna have to go for a move here into P1 because the DRS effect is so strong that you can see we're gonna be breezing past Declan, but Declan is also gonna get passed by Thomas, just like we did to Kian on the last lap. And yeah, if you do not have a big enough of a gap after the middle sector, you're gonna be swallowed up on Camel Straight. So yeah, we have to make sure that we have big enough of a gap lap after lap after lap going into turn 1 or after the middle sector. So yeah, crucially there, you can see Ismail Fassi retired from the session, and
also means we need to stay alive.
Yeah, as you can hear me say, we have to keep our head here. We cannot waste this opportunity, this big point gain opportunity to Ismail Fassi. He has retired from the session. It's going to be 0 points for him, and that means we can score big here and gain maybe 15, 18, 25 points relatively to him and take the championship lead. However, you can see here, we've got 2 guys behind us on much fresher tires, and it looks like we're going to be a sitting duck here. We've got a lot of ERS to waste, but the DRS is just so strong on Camel Straight. The slipstream effect out of turn 1 to a Rouge is already strong. But by the time the DRS opens, we're already going to be doing...
we can just keep P2.
We're already going to be doing well over 300 kph. As you can hear me say, let's hope we can keep P2. That is the aim here, because we do not stand a chance here at all against the DRS. You can see we're not even going to be defending. We're just going to tuck into the slipstream and focus on P3. Istvan on a fresh set of softs is going to be dangerous. He's going to be having more grip, probably, than us. So this is our 12 lap on the mediums. I'm not sure when Istvan boxed. Could be his 8 lap on those softs. You can see our tires are struggling here. We are not at puncture risk, but the grip just seems to be gone. So let's see if we can hold on into this middle sector. You can see car not turning great anymore as well. The win is gone here, but let's see if we can keep the 18-point advantage to Ismail Fassi and take the championship lead from him. And it looks like we're going to be safe from Istvan behind. You can see he is too far behind to go for a move, and we've got too much battery for him to make an attack. You can see he's over half a second behind. We're just going to be draining our battery here on the last lap and bring home the 18 points, crucial 18 points in the championship. If Ismail was the one going into the last lap behind us, I probably would have been a lot more aggressive, tried something tricky, played some games, but it's not time to play games against Thomas, who is not in a championship fight at the moment. And yeah, we kind of had to play it safe, avoid any penalties, avoid any incidents, and bring it home in P2, which is frustrating because I want to be winning the races, but sometimes you just have to use your brain a little bit. You don't win championships by taking an incredible amount of risk every single race you do. Sometimes you have to accept P2, even though it's very difficult. We do now take the championship lead from Ismail, and for the first time in this season of WR, we are leading the championship. We've only been kind of in P4, 3, 2 all the time, and now finally in P1 with around 6 races to go. So let's see if we can keep the championship lead. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.